Welcome to the Technical Record Podcast, improving your battling skills one move at a time. For today's podcast, we begin with Technical Record 0, Swords Dance. Now this is a normal type move that was introduced all the way back in Gen 1 and has remained virtually unchanged. It increases the user's attack stat by 2 stages. At this point, I would note notable users of this move, but there are way too many to name. One of my favorites, Leafeon. Because Leafeon is an incredibly bulky Pokemon on the physical defensive side. If you lead with Leafeon and your opponent is a known physical threat, you are probably not in any danger unless it's like a fire type or a beefy flying type. You could legitimately just Swords Dance right in their face and do whatever you want afterwards. We discussed this many moons ago, but back in Gen 7, Mimikyu's ability, Disguise, worked differently. It was basically a Focus Sash without needing to sacrifice it for the item slot. But you could stack it with Focus Sash. So basically, they pop you, your Disguise gets broken, but your HP doesn't drop. Then they have to hit you again to break your Focus Sash. By this point, you've already done Swords Dance twice, and you have probably slain half the opponent's team with Shadow Sneak. And they just have to deal with it.
Alright, Teron, thank you for informing us of Technical Record 00, Swords Dance. Moving on for today's topic, Isle of Armor. How did we feel about it? What's the good? What's the bad? What was your experience? Was it worth the $15? Let's bring it over to the J-Man.
$5. Take it or leave it. I Isle of Armor. I just started off the game. Gonna start off inside that game, that DLC, and from there, I just took T-Tar, level 100, swept everything. I forgot what I was really doing. I just knew that I get a legendary at the end of this.
Damn, you said $5. He didn't care for it.
Nope.
So, oh my god. Okay. So, I'll agree with the $5, and my main reason was because I saw Kung Fu, and I think the only person that was excited for this was Maestro. I wasn't. I looked at this thing and I'm like, okay, so we pay $15 to get this at the end. I don't want this, and I feel like the storyline's gonna revolve only around this, and I was right. And that made me hate it even more. Because they could have just gave me this Pokemon and said, alright dude, here's your free Pokemon at the end because we have to give it to you because it's obligated, but you can do whatever you want for the rest of the game. No! I gotta walk around with this thing, and I gotta make him my friend. He has to be friendship level 100. Then I have to go and battle into the tower in order if I want to evolve it. And then you give me 2 choices because I only get one. You either go with the water or the dark. You choose. How am I supposed to know what's gonna be good later down the road?
Oh, and don't forget, if you happen to get another Urshifu, I'm sorry, not Urshifu, Kung Fu, if you take it to the other tower, it will not go through. You ready to pick water? You stick on water. Or all Kung Fu's are going to be water.
I don't know about that one, sir.
No, it is.
Even if
when you start a new one, right, you have to do a fresh playthrough. Exactly.
So if you do but let's say if you go ahead and give that to yourself.
Oh, a trade? Let's say you trade.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, then, yeah. I mean, but you wouldn't do that. And then that makes sense. But, I mean, you wouldn't trade yourself a Kung Fu, right? You would train... if you did trade yourself a Kung Fu, it's more for your other profile to grind up to... God dang it. Words. Can't think of them. What's his name? Can't think of words. Yeah, man. The big words. Y'all know the Pokemon. I can't think right now. I am also eating. But... thing is that's how you would usually do it. That's how I did it, and that's how I got them. So I got a dark Urshifu and I got a water Urshifu by going that route. Nope.
But here's the thing.
But you have to waste your whole time. I mean,
it's not that whole much of a time, though,
I didn't want to waste my time. Just if I was a new kid, new Pokemon, didn't know about the berries, to go just hey, Kung Fu, eat these 10 berries. Now we're best friends. All right, let's go. If I didn't know about that, my ass would have to go ahead and sit there and try to play in a day cap, the tent. Here's a ball, get a ball.
I would give you I would give you your point that you they should have explained in a better way. But there's another shorter way. All you had to do was go to each one of those stops that they had on the map, which is only like 3 or 4 stops, and he becomes your best friend automatically within those 3 or 4 stops. And then he's your friend. So you really ain't gotta do all that extra. Even though yes, I did it as well, right? Because we're so used to soothe build this, go here, become friend, get into battle, got it. But the thing is, technically they did make it shorter. On them to have explained it better by saying, oh, if you stop at all these stops, then he becomes your best friend. But I don't know, maybe whoever did this portion wanted you to dig a little harder. I don't know.
They wanted you to play the game, and that was the thing. Like, some they don't understand about us that have jobs and still want to enjoy it, right? So I guess we're starting off with the bad. I thought we were gonna start off with some good things. So let's just start off with the bad and then go to the good things, right? Let's go with that. So the other thing that in my opinion, that no new Pokemon besides the ones that were shown in the trailer. Like, you guys gave us everything that was going to be in here, in the trailer, and then when the game came out, you were like, oh, that's it. So I thought there was gonna be more. Why would you show me everything that there already is and tease me thinking there's gonna be more and there isn't? And then once you get the if you completed the Pokedex already, right, with the 400, half of them are already in the Isle of Arbor. So what did I pay for? I paid for like 50 more Pokemon and a Cubfu and a 2 to 3 hour experience on something I didn't even want to do, like the Dittos, the trading the watts for like unnecessary things. Why did I have to go farm for like 3 million watts to give it to Honey? Where like, oh my gosh, man, that was a big slap in the face for me. Shield got a terrible protagonist. Let's be completely honest. Shield, you guys got screwed. Like, this dude.
You know, I did like Avery just like turning around talking. I'm like, okay, this is a little cheesy, but that's kind of funny. But no, after that,
he went in the closet and just said, "All right, man, what doesn't smell? Oh, look, I can put this together and go outside." I was like, no, they didn't even try to make it look appealing. This dude, oh god, this reminds me of that scientist that has like 2 different colored socks and the missing a shoe or whatever, the one that you can get from the fossils, fossil Pokemon. And that's who it reminded me of, just the male version. And then besides the antagonist, let's talk about that Duck Machine. Why would you tell me there's an opportunity for me to have the Apricorn balls, and then tell me, oh, well, by the way, there's a 1 in a million chance that you could get one? What's the point?
I went into that. I was that. Man, when I learned that there was a machine for that, I was like, dude, I have like all of the Apricorns. This is my time. The friend ball will return alongside the luxury ball. It's time. Here, 5 green Apricorns. Man, Kurt, I'm sorry, but if I could go to Johto, I'd give you my business, but this thing is the closest substitute I've got. Boo-doo-doo-doo, you got 1 Pokeball. The hell is this? Oh, hell no. No, reset the game. I'm never doing this again.
Bro, I did it 5 times for a love ball. Nothing. All my stuff for the material and stuff, all that was gone. And I was like, you know what? No. I go on the internet. Oh yeah, let me some dude, hey man, praise to you, did the math and said, yeah, it's like 1 out of like 5,000 chance that you'll get what you actually want. I'm like, no, this is a waste of time.
Yeah, like a 0.02% chance just to get one of those, I believe.
No,
not worth it. I'm not doing it.
Why even add it in the game? Why tell me there's a chance that I could do that when you know that there's no chance?
Hey man, it's a chance you get the Master Ball with the lottery.
It's funny because it's the same. Like, Pokemon's been doing this for a while, where they give you something that's hardest ever to get, right? Like, what's the legendary Pokemon that you had to go to the movies to go see? That good.
Oh, you mean Genesect?
Yeah. So like, it sounds nice, right? But not for us. We didn't get the opportunity. Where's our opportunity? You know, like, what did we get? They're like, nah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you can maybe trade with someone, or
you could, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like, there are things.
But you miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I know exactly where Maestro is coming from with that, because I speak from the perspective of someone who went to Pokemon events during like the Gen 3 era, where I told you guys about this story, but I guess it's time to share it with the podcast too. When Pokemon Emerald happened, XD Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum were a thing. I tried to complete the Pokedex. All 383 Pokemon. I was missing one. It was Kingdra. This means I also got like the event legendary. So I went to the event to get Deoxys. I went for the Southern Island one to get Latios. Well, not Latios, but Latias, because I chose Latios as my roaming legendary. I went to Faraway Island to get Lugia. Well, a second Lugia. Wait, is it Faraway Island or is it the other one? Yeah, Faraway Island is Lugia and Ho-Oh. Mirage Island... no, Mirage Island is like the why not. I forget what the island is for Lugia and Ho-Oh, but I did the event for that, got both of them. I did the one for Deoxys. I even did the one for Mew. And in the end, I just needed a Kingdra. I didn't know where to get a Dragon Scale. In fact, I thought I needed a Dragon Fang, and then my game got stolen. You don't recover from that.
Yeah.
So you did... So like you did all of the events, which are limited time and can be pretty costly depending if you have to travel, and you got nothing to show for it in the end. That's a bad time. I could understand not wanting to make the trip after that. And even if you've never done the trip before, I can still understand not wanting to like take that kind of risk, because it might not be worth it in the end. It's an investment. I do think it's nice that they've made it a lot easier to do said events now, because they just do it over Mystery Gift. Or you can go to your local GameStop, soon to rest in peace, and just get like the promo codes from there, because that's how my buddy and I got our Genesect. Because Genesect is like his favorite legendary from Gen 5.
Look, man, all I'm saying is you gave us the option in the game.
And you made it not worthwhile.
Basically. 1% chance to get a rare ball, and then 0.1% chance to get a Safari ball or a Sport ball. I'll stick to the Ultra balls in the game.
Just gonna stick to luxury balls, thank you.
And whatever balls you can get from the game that is easier. I would rather go around and just keep going to the white traders to find every other Pokeball that I need before I go that route.
So my opinions on Isle of Armor. Man, $5 is generous. I honestly don't like. I would have paid for Crown Tundra. I mean, I did pay for Crown Tundra. I think Crown Tundra is at least worth $5. I'm okay with the $15 that I spent. I just don't think the expansion should have been 15. But Isle of Armor, no, that nonsense should have been free. I basically paid you guys $15 for a baller-looking bike. That's it.
I would think, in the sense that I don't think they looked at the overall group of people, because remember, Pokemon True is a game for everyone, but it's primarily made for children, right? And the thing about this is children. To them, some of them, right? Some of them think like grown-ups and like, yeah, man, this is cool, but a lot of them think of, I need continued story. Which case, if we technically go off a continued story, in a sense, it's something. It's something. It's I would say it's worth, like I said, $5 to $10 at most.
Okay, well, here's the thing to that, right? Here's the thing to that, though. You added 3 hours of content in a pandemic where people weren't working. You could have done better.
Could have done better, and this is why, again, I accept $5, but to $10, right? But here's the thing: they're not going all the way, because then they knew that if we talk about business relations, which again we know that's totally different, but again, business relations, they got another package, right? Another DLC coming out that's gonna be way better, which we didn't know how it was gonna be because how bad this one was. It was like, we had to rate it out of 10. I'm probably putting it out of 4, maybe. I might give it a 5 if I'm in like a child perspective view, but in my view, maybe a 4 out of 10 because my boy Urshifu was there, so I was hyped. But that's the only reason. Besides of that, 4 out of 10. It's not really looking up too good, but yeah. I only think for the children's perspective view of how you go from them, and because they need more, they got more in a sense. They got more Pokemon that they didn't get to play with in a while. They added it, right? But again, if this was the case, they should have just not gave us that DLC and just put all this into the Power Tundra, and that would have been 10 times better. Then I would have really been going crazy, because then now you would have had so many different stories to capture all these legendaries.
Because for me, when I look at this in the context of the games that preceded it, not counting Gold, Silver, and Crystal because that's actually an unfair comparison, that was basically half of another game after you beat the Pokemon League. Since they tacked on the Kanto region and gave you like 8 more gym leaders plus Red the fight. But when I think of like the post games of everything else, notably X and Y, everyone gives X and Y a lot of flack, and for very good reason, but its post game was packed with a lot of good story content. There's this whole bit with Looker and this undercover agent who ends up like double crossing him. I'm like, I didn't even find out about it until like 6 months after I beat Pokemon X, because I was thinking, oh, story mode was kind of garbo. I guess the post game's gonna be like that too. I guess I'll do Battle My Zone. It's whatever. And then my buddy comes in and tells me, yo, so did you do this side story with Looker? Looker has a side story? 3 hours later. Holy crap, that was actually really good. And then you get to freaking Isle of Armor, and it's like, hey, here's this cool bike. Oh man, I'm about to ride right out into this whole new world. Let's go! I gotta take this Cubfu to a bunch of places. I don't even want Urshifu. I don't use legendaries. I'm not about that action. You got anything else for me? You got like a trainer from a different region I can fight? You know, like from Gen 7 where the champion league title defense. You have a whole bunch of different challengers who show up to claim your spot as champion. And one of them is this random dragon dude who's like a rock star from another region that we've never heard of before. What the hell happened to Ryuki? Is he coming back? You could, like, the thing with Honey, where you have to spend 3 million watts to battle some trainer from afar. The trainer is heavily implied to be the guy whose spot in the dojo you ended up stealing at the beginning of the DLC in the first place. It's not even some, like, hotshot trainer with a backstory. He's just some dude who saw Avery, thought he was creepy, and decided, alright, I'm gonna head out. Like, really? You made me pay 3 million watts to potentially fight that guy, but now I gotta fight you instead? You could have brought literally anyone else. I would have taken Lucas and Dawn, the protagonists of Diamond and Pearl. Like, Dawn coming in there with a freaking Giratina that Dynamaxes. You know what? Let's go. I am all for this. Come at me.
I mean, for me, it's just the fact that whole little tease she did led up to just you battling her. It's like, come on, you should be alone. Like, I was right there with you. Like, this is gonna be. I'm going against that person I stole their spot. You're probably somebody that's pretty good from a different region. Or, oh, snap, this is going to be Red. Oh, it's you.
Yeah, Red came here to train at the dojo. No, it's not Red. It's just some rando.
Mm-hmm.
Red come by. He beating the dojo. I'm sorry. there ain't no. If Red came by and he's training. No, Red came by and he destroyed. He saw the.
He gave Mustard his first defeat in like 30 years.
But he go look at him and be like, "Did you not know I have a Charizard as well? Not just any Charizard. No. I have a Mega Charizard, sir." Like, this is no ordinary Charizard. And imagine if it was a Mega Dynamax version. Oh my god, it'd be too much.
Mega Gigantamax Charizard X. That would be stupid.
I wouldn't even want to play the game no more. I'd just be like,
Max Wormwind with tough claws. Yeah, you're dead.
They actually missed their options to do that though, because they could have used that to bring Megas in general. It's like,
I think that'd have been too much, though, bro.
If you got the option to choose between Mega or Dynamaxing.
Well, okay, then yes, that's different.
Logically speaking, you would be locked out to one or the other.
Mm-hmm. But that would have been a perfect way to go ahead. Okay. Like, all right, we got Red to go ahead and train up the dojo. He introduced Megas. What's Megas? And now you go ahead and learn about this. And oh, look at here. This is going to be on the new DLC. That would have got everybody hyped.
It would have been messed up for doubles though, because then you got one Pokemon on the left who Mega evolves, and then you got the one on the right who Dynamaxes.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe if you can only do one.
This is power. Hold on, buddy.
But on the low, I would say Megas are probably still just enough overpowered, because here's the issue. Remember, you get 3 turns with your Dynamax. That's it. Megas, they stay on the moment you switch. Then they go.
You switch, they stay Mega evolved.
They stay, and I think that would probably be the issue that they're probably having, because then now you're stuck at this almighty position while I only had 3 turns.
And and this is weird
because option select. That's all it is on that one. If you can only Dynamax, or you can only Mega. If you do Mega, you can't do Dynamax.
But
well, all right. You don't know which one I'm doing better.
I actually don't think they do it that way, because in Gen 7, when it came to doubles, you actually still had the ability to Mega evolve one Pokemon and have the other one use a Z move.
Yeah.
And Z moves are basically Dynamaxing, but you only get to do it once.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
So the Pokemon Company, they probably would allow Mega Evolution alongside Dynamax and Gigantamaxing. And that's probably why they didn't bring Megas over. That's probably why they didn't bring Z moves over either. Because Z moves are supposed to like canonically be in a Alola only thing. But you could spin any narrative you want and bring Z moves over to a different region. They probably spin the wheel to make that happen.
I mean, we went to look for Diglett just to go ahead and get the Alolan Pokemon in, so it could have got in there easily.
It could have gotten in there.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, there was a lot of bad things about Olive Armor.
And I'm super disappointed that Galarian Dustox was not a thing. I saw like the quote-unquote leak for that. I wasn't banking on it, but in my soul of souls, I was totally banking on that.
Because the the Sora rival for the DLC actually looks pretty cool, and I'm like, oh, dope. She's gonna actually have the Galarian Dustox. I wonder what that's gonna do. Oh, it's not in the game.
Oh, I just don't exist. Well, I've done all I can.
So now that we got the bad things out of the way, let's talk about the good things. And just in case you guys don't have any ideas, let me give you some. So they introduced new Pokemon to use in Rank. That was exciting. One of the Pokemon was Marowak, and then the other 2 could possibly be Sandslash, Raichu, and the Alola Ninetales, right? You got it was the Weather, the Surge, Surfer, and then Marowak was just good in Trick Room, or just in general. Then you also got the cheaper vitamins. You got new league cards, which that should have just stayed in the bad. Digger's Maw and Paw. I honestly feel like they're both incompetent. I was about to say, throw Maw out of there, man. I'm selling both. Hey, man, let's just.
No, I'm cool with Pa. Be cool with Pa, not Maw.
Okay, well here they brought in Armorite, which is like a new currency in that area. Urshifu, Porygon, the ability to have your buddy walk with you, which was fantastic because like from Pokemon Let's Go, that I still think that's like the most coolest thing in the world. And then you also got a new selection of moves, where the most popular ones so far are Grassy Glide and Expanding Force. So let's go with the good things. Maestro, let's start with you.
Okay, so alright. Here's the thing. Me, let's just say this. I'm in a kid mind, right? Like again, that's how I think. So in a sense, more story because I love the Pokemon stories in general. I need to be able to play more. Now, true. Again, like I said, I rated this already. Like I said, 4 out of 10 or whatever. But the aspect of being able to travel, see some new stuff that you are probably tired of seeing in the regular game. You got to see some new sights. That's awesome, right? You got to see land, ocean, all that extra stuff, which is kind of cool. And then see the Pokemon come out to actually physically walking with you. They've done this before in multiple games, but again on the Switch and the big screen, it looks nice. So that was something cool for me. Urshifu just being out there, we already know, one of my favorite types, and fighting types in general are my favorite types. So he being out there just already clearly throws everything out the water. And then, like I said, the last thing for me on the good side, like you stated, cheaper vitamins. I mean, to me it almost don't feel like it, but then again, it only costs you actual zenny or whatever they use the money currency. There you go, and that's really it, man. I mean, you named so much more of the great things off that. So
no, that's fine. Like I said, in case somebody didn't have an idea, I wanted to point things out. Like in my opinion, like Grassy Glide, bro. That made Rillaboom. Oh my god.
The only starter worth using in Gen 8.
The
only Gen 8 starter worth using.
But we're not gonna like go in that. But yeah, in case anybody didn't know, Rillaboom is a high attack stat. He is his own setter because his hidden ability is Grassy Surge, and he gets the access to Grassy.
Basically,
I suppose that's the other thing we need to mention. Isle of Armor made it so that the Galarian starters could get their hidden abilities.
Which is why I'm surprised y'all just gonna put my boy, no, not telling y'all, Cinderace out there. Like, hey, I know, man, you just put him down like it's the only starter worth. No, Cinderace a beast now.
Well, as of towards the end of Isle of Armor, Cinderace really fell off the meta because there was just too much stuff going against it, and that certainly didn't help when Crown Tundra happened, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that, That's a different story.
Oh, they did Inteleon dirty, though. But they did Inteleon dirty from the start.
The start, yes. But again, that's a whole separate issue. We're not even going to go through it. We're just going to talk about Isle of Armor.
And the good stuff.
And the good stuff, yeah.
I do have some good points.
Go for it, yeah, because you already mentioned one. The hidden abilities for the starters.
And allow me to follow up on that. The next thing they did, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about this, the Gigantamax soup. It lets you grant the Gigantamax factor to any Pokemon that can have it. Holy crap, I don't even use Gigantamax Pokemon, but that's huge. That is such a quality of life thing. Because going to a den, if you're like me and didn't use the exploits for like a year and some change, you actually have to reset the dens normally, and then it's for a catch rate of 3 on the Gigantamax Pokemon of choice. You are basically trying to catch a legendary and you get one shot at it. That is messed up.
I think of it like people like me who shiny hunt. Imagine getting a Hatterene who's not Gigantamax, and it's shiny. I finally get a shiny, but I need it to be G-Max.
But no Gigantamax factor. You're screwed. Not anymore. Here, Hatterene, my queen, drink this soup. Glug glug. Oh, here we go. Okay. I can't front. That's amazing. I like a lot of the quality of life things that Sword and Shield added. That was one of them. On the subject of Pokemon, Galarian Slowbro. Let's go! I love this Pokemon. This thing is so stupid. It's a Psychic and Poison type, and Poison, while it resists fighting, it does not resist Dark. And Galarian Slowbro has decent-ish defenses. Hey, Fling with a Lychee Berry. +1 attack. Hey, guess what I gave him? Weakness Policy. +3 special, +3 attack. Hit him with something. Drain Punch. Did you hit me on this turn? I healed. Next turn, because I had my partner throw a berry at me, I get to use Belch, which it's 100 base power, special, and it gets Stab. And it's +2 because of the +2 that I got from Weakness Policy. Which means I can be a mixed attacker, and I just don't care about anything. This Pokemon's incredible. Oh, I love Galarian Slowbro. I'm so happy that they did my boy justice with his Galarian form. It almost made up for the fact that Galarian Dustox didn't happen. Almost.
Actually, you're right, because that typing is not bad for him either.
No, it is not.
Like on Dark Ghost Ground, you will see some moves for. But then Dark and Ghost, I mean, for the most part, you may see a Dark move because of Moltres, but Ghost not too much. Like besides, what's his face? The Trick Room Setter.
Dusclops.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Let's see. We also got Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is... Okay, look. Porygon 2 was stupid back when Eviolite wasn't a thing. When they made Eviolite, Porygon 2 just became one of the greatest. And that is to say nothing about Porygon Z being in the same game. If you run Porygon 2, you've got Eviolite, like an Eviolite tank that can still slay the foes. If you bring in Porygon Z, you've got Adaptability, Hyper Beam, Max Strike. I'm sorry, you're dead. You are not surviving whatever this thing does.
Don't forget about Trick or Treat and not having Max Phantasm with adaptability.
Yes, Ghost Normal and Max Phantasm with adaptability. It's just... People come up with some wild things sometimes. But man, adaptability on Porygon Z, give him a Silk Scarf, it's all ogre now. Magneton coming back was pretty good as well. I do like that. Oh, my boy Stoutland. Yes. I want to talk about Cradily, but we need to make it to the Crown Tundra first. We will get there. Oh, we will get there. You know what? I think... Yeah, I think that's it from me. I was going to mention Dragalge, but I haven't found a way to make Dragalge good yet, so I'm going to hold off.
You know what? I'm actually right there with you with Scoutland. Just because I used to love that Pokemon when it first came out. I'm like, alright, cool. Perfect for Sand Team. I can make him offensive. I can make him support like you did. I'm like, that thing is dope. But, I mean, for the most part, it's just the only goods I really had is just like the vending machine. So now I can go ahead and actually buy the vitamins at a cheaper price if I buy it in bulk. That's cool. The Pokemon that came, I was hyped for it at first, but what's the name changed the meta up so much? Olivant Armor. Like, when we'll get there, but...
Oh, you mean Crown Tundra, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Crown Tundra, yeah. That changed the meta in general, just what all the Pokemon was released. It's like comparing this one to that one. I ain't got too many goods for this DLC, besides Urshifu being broken.
Urshifu being broken, yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think we're all in agreement, right? Like Urshifu, Porygon, the buddy that can walk with you, like if you even cared for that, the G-Max Soup.
I kind of have like a gripe with the following Pokemon mechanic.
Yeah, that's why I said if that's your thing.
Cause like I loved it when it happened in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, cause that's when they went all in with it and it was great. They brought it back for this. It was not so hot. It felt really lazy in Gen 8. It was okay in Let's Go. But I feel like when I think of it in Let's Go, I'm being unfair because I'm comparing it to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which was the greatest for me. So I give Let's Go some slack because it's like not only did they bring back following Pokemon, they legitimately let you ride on flying type Pokemon. I am cruising through the Kanto region on the back of not even the back of a Dragonite, on a Gengar. What is this game, and how have I gone this long in my life without it? That's awesome.
You can also ride a water Pokemon in the water.
On the water.
You can also have more than one Pokemon follow you.
So if my Pokemon knows Levitate or can fly, I can just fly on that thing.
You can fly that thing.
That's actually kind of cool.
Hey Gengar, let's go, buddy. Gengar. Oh God, Mom, what is that? Don't look at it.
Yeah. So alright, not too many. So more bad than good. Obviously, let us know in the comment section below how you guys feel about it. With all that being said, it is time for an intermission we like to call Pokemon of the Week. Hit it, boys.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Urshifu! So the Pokemon that we choose for Pokemon of the Week is Urshifu. Urshifu, I think we can all agree, is kind of broken. So, the moves, if he's in normal form, all of his moves ignore Protect. If he's in G-Max, his G-Max move ignores Max Guard. This thing does 100% guaranteed crit with his signature move. 550 base points. What is it? It gets 2 moves that are just basically crucial. So if you got the Dark type, you get Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow. If you get the Water type, you get Aqua Jet, Surging Strikes. This thing has a base attack of 130, base speed of 97. So there's choices, right? You can make him a choice, or you can give him a sash. If you give him a sash, this man can Wicked Blow. Oh, I didn't kill you the first turn. Oh, Sucker Punch. Surging Strikes. Oh, that didn't kill you the first turn. Oh, Aqua Jet. Boom.
Now the thing is, this makes it slightly worse. Like worse as in worse for the opponent. But Surging Strikes is a multi-hit move, which means if you had a Focus Sash, I'm sorry, but you're dead. Because the first hit does not break the Focus Sash. If the second and third hit would have killed you, you're gone. The only way you survive is if he misses. And I didn't know this. I thought Surging Strikes had like 90 base accuracy to make up for the fact that it's a triple hit. It's 100. And it's a guaranteed crit, and it goes through Protect. It's not reduced by Protect. It literally just ignores it. I don't want to get hit. Wow, that looks dangerous. Protect. Omae wa mo shinderu. Wait, I protected though! Yeah, that was your mistake. You should have switched to something that doesn't get killed by water moves.
It's like literally you see a Urshifu, you're like, alright, if I'm playing Dusclops, he's going to kill it. Or even if they bring the water one, alright, if I have something squishy, he is gonna pop my sash. It will crit.
And here's the other thing with Urshifu, and this is like, whoo boy, this thing is insane. So it's a fighting type, and it's potentially dark or water. It depends. However, its moveset is incredibly diverse. This thing gets Iron Head, so if you're a fairy type, you better watch out. Even though you've got special moves on your side, and his special defense is Garbo, if you get hit with Iron Head, you're probably gone. This dude gets Acrobatics. So grass types beware, you're not getting a freebie. This dude gets Drain Punch to heal. He gets Poison Jab. Zen Headbutt. I'm like, what don't you get? Just a fairy move. That's it. He also gets the Elemental Punches. You honestly wouldn't even run these to begin with, but hey, if you wanted them, they're there. And for a good Dynamax option, you get Stone Edge.
Oh, but you guys, we're having we're missing one crucial problem here, right? It's great and all. Like, believe me, I know how great it is, right? But here's the issues. It still has a horrible special defense, and what are usually fighting types weak to? Special attacking, psychic, fairy types, right? And those are so meta right now. It makes no sense to how much fairies I done seen out here in these streets, man. So, yes, you do have a wonderful dark type who's 4 times weak to that fairy. So you probably gotta watch out if they threw out a Dusclops and some fairy type chilling there. You gotta watch out. True, you ignore the psychic ability, but let's be honest here, you also get hit with your own typing, which is crazy. But again, it's great. It's a wonderful Pokemon on that aspect. Now on the water side, yes, you have less to deal with in the sense of the psychic and fairy, even though you still gotta deal with them. It's just times 2 effective. But remember, you're still weak to that flying. You're still weak to basically get all your main stuff. And now you added more weaknesses. And if they hit you with a special attack, Urshifu's gone. So you have to almost put that Focus Sash on him, man. Or the Assault. No, well, I put Assault Vest because I trick people. But I mean, yeah. And you can make it special defensively bulky, but again, you're not gonna fool everybody with that, and most people are probably gonna leave it there because of its priority 1 moves like Aqua Jet, and then priority 3 with the other dark one, I can't think of it. But basically, Sucker Punch. But again, Sucker Punch is the problem with Sucker Punch. If you know that you're not going to be attacking it, or somebody's not going to be attacking, they can get past that with the Sucker Punch and just go for something that, like Swords Dance or something, if they know that you're about to Sucker Punch. Most people don't, though, right? They just looking for you to do the crit, but hey, still, it's a go if you know Urshifu. And then, again, there's so many ways to still hit Urshifu, and his stats are great, but then again, that special defense makes it so much of a problem. And he's not the fastest, he's fast, but he's not the fastest. And even if you made him fast, it's like how J-Man said that he would give him a tailwind, he'll go crazy. We now know that the meta's going back to Trick Room nowadays, so you gotta watch out for that. The only thing, of course, you can bring up is your priority, but then again, as J-Man did in the tournament before, he made us go slower with an instance, the full instance. So it doesn't matter in a sense if you gave him that. And since that's a fairy type, he's, again, not going to be weak to anything of your abilities. So he's actually, it has a problem, right? It has a deep problem. It does all this, but it has just as equal, right, weaknesses. So I would say, so I can deal with this.
Those are all interesting facts. I'm glad that everyone had input for the Pokemon of the Week. I hope everyone out there enjoys it. Let us know in the comment section if there's a better way to improve this, or just suggestions that you may have for future podcasts. But moving on to the next topic, which is the Crown of Tundra.
Very well. Crown of Tundra. I don't like the fact that I spent $15 on it, but it was actually pretty decent. The thing that I like the most about the Crown Tundra is the sheer number of Pokemon that were brought back for it. Because if you're interested in competitive Pokemon, be you a Smogonite or someone who supports the VGC, there was something in it for all of you. Even if you're just a casual Pokemon fan, they brought back a lot of like niche picks that nobody cared about, but you know, like the 2 people like me who gives a crap about Dunsparce, even though that was Hollow Armor. And they brought in some other new things as well. So for starters, they brought back the Zubat line. My boy Crobat came home. I'm okay with this. They brought back Garchomp, the premier dragon, well, the premier pseudo-legendary of Gen 4 in Sinnoh. I think everybody likes Garchomp to a degree, even the people who hate it. So him coming back, even if he's like not used in Smogon or VGC at all, doesn't matter. Your boy got his spot back. And then the new stuff. Holy crap. The Kanto birds got Galarian forms. You got Regieleki and Regidrago. What's more, you got that I don't even know what to call Calyrex. You got the Weird King on a horse. This dude just comes in on a horse. And Spectrier, the boys here have some choice words for Spectrier, but everyone can agree that Glastrier is really good.
Hey, don't knock out the Spectrier. So maybe he's not good in doubles, but in singles he's a beast. This thing has Nasty Plot with a Focus Sash, and then he sweeps the rest of the game. So it's a different ball game. He's very fast, very high special attack. And again,
but he can't take a hit.
He can't take a hit. No, that's like 100% true.
And in VGC, not being able to take a hit is a death sentence. And that's what like makes Pikachu not very good for VGC, even though a well set up Pikachu in singles can instantly destroy everyone's team in just like 2 turns. All it takes is 2 turns of setup and it's all over. So one other thing that I like, and this is kind of going back to the legendaries, they brought back the traditional legendary catching experience, be that good or ill. You can just go up to a legendary Pokemon, no max dens, no max raids, although max raids were cool, we'll get to those. Just none of that, you just find a legendary in its habitat. Alright bro, fight me. I got a catch rate of 3. You want to catch me? Prove yourself. Prove you've got the patience to do this. Knock him to 1 HP. Put him to sleep. Alright, spam Pokeballs. And you hate this experience, but low-key, you kind of do enjoy this. Because everybody loves a little gambling.
Not only that, it brought me back to like the times when when you caught the legendaries and Mewtwo, like back in Gen 1. Because I didn't play all of the gens. I only played several of them. But yeah, it brought back that whole thing where it was just like, come on, I am running out of Pokeballs.
It's a struggle. It's a race. It's a race against time. Am I gonna run out of Pokeballs, or are you gonna start using struggle and like KO yourself? And every time for me, they KO themselves. I remember Heart Gold and Soul Silver where you had to catch Ho-Oh. This guy had like 3 moves that only had 5 power points. You have no time to do anything. Like, sure, he's not gonna hit you because he's popping Fire Blast or Sacred Fire or whatever, but when he runs out of power points, it's gonna happen quick, and he is going to Oko himself. I'm sorry, but you better hurry the hell up. Otherwise, you're not getting this bird. And that, man, they even reprised it for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Ho-Oh came back, and he still only had like 3 moves with 5 power points apiece. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this again. Why are you here? Can you just bring Lugia and I trade for you? Can we just do that? No, face me. You know, at least your theme is good, I guess.
This man came out there. This man came out there with the Fire Blast, Close Combat, and the Hydro Pump.
Yes. Can't even learn 2 of those moves, but yeah, he came out with those.
It's like, alright, I have 20 moves to choose from. And go.
You have 20 turns to catch me. Begin. Hold up, what? You've already wasted 5 of them. Crap! Oh, but on the subject of music, they remixed the Reggie battle theme, and it is amazing. The Reggie theme was already one of my favorite legendary themes in the franchise. I didn't think that theme could get any better. Gen 8 proved me wrong on something. And it was a good thing that they proved me wrong. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, I remember the day I asked you about it. And you were like, no, that song already existed, but they remixed it. And I was like, they did? Oh, I had to go listen to the original. Yeah. It's not even night and day. It's the same thing, just better. Yes, that's all I can say. Go on, carry on. My bad.
Oh no, I believe I should share the floor.
Oh, alright. Well, since we're sharing the floor, so what I liked is the fact that now even though I did criticize like Isle of Armor for being expensive to get like the Pokeballs and all that stuff, you do have a chance now to get Premier Balls, right? Beast Balls, the hidden ability patch, which I think we're all thankful for, instead of having to find this thing in the wild or in a den.
We'll get to that. I have something. I have like a standing ovation to give these guys for making the ability patch. But we'll get to that. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, so because you already named that other stuff, but yeah, you got the you can buy XP candy, Dynamax candy. Like I don't have to farm as much as I had to before. Armorite Orb, I was all over that. That's where all my points went to. Besides all the legendaries that you can capture, the max raid dens, obviously those were fun, even with random sometimes. It was frustrating because you got that one Chief Wiggum sometimes that just didn't know what they were doing, and it just wasted your time.
Wobbuffet, use counter on the special attacker.
Yes.
Are you? Oh my god, how'd you make it out of the academy?
Yes, that was the thing. So there was that, and then yeah, all the legendary Pokemon that you guys always talked about that I never got to experience in battle. Hey, look, they're all here.
You met them. You even met Xerneas, one of the scariest legendaries of Gen 6, and he kicked our asses too. We came back on that second run though, had the ultimate setup. All right, Swoobat, Simple Beam. Everybody else, set up. Use Helping Hand. Get out of here, buddy. Did you really think you could win? That was a good evening. That was some real teamwork. And that's another thing I like about Crown Tundra. The means by which you acquire Dynite ore, which is the best way to do it is the endless raids in the max raids. They made the max raid actually fun to do with no backsies, and it had an increased shiny rate. I mean, you basically needed to have already gotten the shiny charm from completing the Pokédex to like make it worth. But that's beside the point. If you didn't do it, that's on you. And I totally take the fall for not doing that. But it gives you guaranteed Pokeball of your choosing for any legendary that you encounter in there. And they can be shiny. Hell, they even let you take the Pokemon that you kind of like, quote unquote, rent from there. Like some dude like took a Swampert through the whole den and they were like, can I keep this? Yeah. Also, it's shiny. Yo! Like shiny Swampert, bro. I ain't even mad at you. I'm jealous as all hell, but I ain't even mad at you.
Yeah, with 100% capture rate, I praise them. Dude, I was so excited that I could catch anything in whatever ball that I wanted. That man, no backseat. Oh my gosh.
It was all right.
Yes. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, you already mentioned like the Calyrex and all that stuff. Like the story was actually pretty enjoyable. There was some hand holding here and there, but for the most part, it was alright. Yeah, it was alright. There was a lot to do. There was so many legendaries. Like I don't know how you get that. Like how you make that better. Like it wasn't like okay, new DLC like it was with it wasn't like Isle of Armor where it was like, oh look, here's a Alolan version of things and a few other Pokemon to complete the dex. Have fun. No, this was like, look at all these legendaries that were in the past that you can now use, whether you want to do it for fun, you want to use them in ranked, as long as they're legal, or you just want to like, I don't know, go to the battle tower and just, test out your things. Like, that was great.
But so I gotta say the raid was honestly my favorite part of it. It's like, I can go into this, their currency, to get it is super easy, by the way. It's like, alright, I go into this raid. I'm going to do this endless raid. If I do 3 of them, I got 95. Like, I was pretty much half asleep doing this as well. It's just like, just like, alright, hit a hit. Okay, we got here. Oh, dope. I got what I need. And then I get to buy XP candy. So if I want to go ahead and just get someone to level, if I want to get them level 100 Hyper Train, yeah. It's like, that's actually cool.
And moving on as a tangent, not a tangent, but like following up on that, ability patch. This changed everything. Like I hate to say this, but I legit think the me of the past, like in Gen 6, would have happily paid $15 to get the expansion just because ability patches existed. Because here's the thing, ability patches make it so that any Pokemon that can have a hidden ability gets its hidden ability, no questions asked. Did you have a Trico from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that you brought over, that you started the game with, and you wanted your buddy to have Unburden because Overgrow really ain't working out for you? And you miss the one and only event throughout the entire lifespan of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire to get the hidden abilities on the starters? Guess what? I'm not punishing you for missing that event because you had a broken leg or whatever. Here's an ability patch. Your Sceptile has Unburden now. Go have fun with your life. Freaking... what? You care about me? Wait, my Sceptile gets Unburdened and I get to do all the cool things I didn't get to do like 3 years ago? What the... And what's more, they basically have the ability patch to make up for the fact that the Dream World from Gen 5 is no longer in service. This was a service where basically you would take a Pokemon that was in your game, upload them to the internet, like not the GTS, like legit the internet, and they just go to sleep in this alternate dimension. And in this dimension, they can meet like all sorts of Pokemon, and most of these Pokemon have their hidden abilities. And you can catch them in your Pokemon's dream and bring them to the real world and use them in like combat for keeps. But they had to shut that service down because one, the DS era of Pokemon, since they were discontinuing the DS because they were moving on to the 3DS, Nintendo Wi-Fi had to get cut. And that means the Dream World could no longer be used. Which means if you weren't around for Gen 5, or you were, but you just didn't get all the Pokemon with hidden abilities that you wanted, you're SOL. Because some of them were exclusive, like Lileep and Cradily. I think Armaldo and Anorith as well. So the Hoenn Fossil Pokemon, I believe you could only get their hidden abilities from the Dream World at the time. And they wouldn't come back again with hidden ability potential until X and Y, and that's Friend Safari only. And good luck with that if you weren't on GameFAQs. Good bloody luck. Fast forward to Gen 8, Crown Tundra. Oh, you got a Cradily that you want to have Storm Drain? Ability patch. Hey Cradily, surf's up, bro. Storm Drain, Giga Drain. Let's go. It just allows you so much more freedom. You have to grind for it, but it's not even a grind. Like J-Man said, 3 runs in endless mode, and you've got enough. Have at it, Haas. All you did was say, "Hey kid, you want to play some Pokemon?" Yes. You want to play some more Pokemon? What do you mean? Sceptile with Unburden, Blaziken with Speed Boost, Swampert with whatever the frick Swampert. Oh, Damp. No, you don't want Swampert with Damp, but Swampert with Damp. I'm interested. Here's an ability patch. Thanks, Mr. Shady Dude. And then you just run off and go fight some legendaries. Freaking, what else could I ask for? I'm a kid again. I don't have to grow up. A solid 7.5 from me. And on a good day, I would give it an 8. On a good day. I don't even use the numerical system because I hate it, but if I had to go back to it, this is a strong 7.5 to a pretty fair 8.
8, yeah. I mean, don't forget it had like mysteries, right? It had puzzles. I mean, they weren't hard, complicated. I get it,
but they don't need to be. Like they're Pokemon puzzles. It's whatever.
No, it's Pokemon puzzles, right? Yeah. Yes, and then the way you catch the Galarian birds, like Isle of Armor. Like there was one in Isle of Armor, there was one in Crown Tundra, and then there was one over at the Wild Area. Like that was dope. Like I like how they spread them around rather than just, well, we're all here. Throw a Master Ball at us.
I kinda disagree just a little bit on that. I did not like to have to go all the way back around town. Like, because I don't mind it in a sense, but I have new maps for a reason, right? I have 2 brand new maps, like, that are like huge. So I'm like, instead, but you want me to go, which of course we have fast travel, but again, still it's just like, alright, you want me to go here, somehow catch this darn Moltres that can hide, basically show up in one spot and show up at 2 different places. Like, luckily, like, again, you can just keep going around, but if you didn't watch YouTube or something like that, you would have just been trying to run and catch and run and run. I'm like, oh my god. And then we're talking about Articuno. Oh my god. Just if you didn't notice the body at the moment that it would just spawn up, like, you had to go around town back and forth. You don't know the spawn point, so you're just out there going around. Now, the one that was the easiest was Zapdos, but again, I didn't want to go back to a map I've already been into. I'm already been enough through there. I want to stay either in the basically I just want to stay in the Crown Tundra, or we're gonna go back to the Isle of Armor, the horrible one. But it's okay because at least new location is what gets me. I can't go back to the old location unless it really has meaning. Prime example, the new tournament that had meaning, right? That's different. That had legitimate meaning, and what it gave you was wonderful. So I like that to go back to the original map. But if it's not that, no. Just to capture this Pokemon that's simply running around, I'm like, I could have caught that Pokemon and the goddamn Crown Tundra running around. I'd have been chilling, riding my bike. Oh, okay, caught you, got you. All right, let's go. Not oh, all right, I gotta go all the way back here. Like that, it's just the little things. But again, I understand why you kind of still remember it's still a kids game, so you gotta give the children something to make them like how Dub P stated. You need to make sure that you do something that grabs their attention and makes the game go longer. So, kids-wise, I guess I'll throw that in. That's why I say I give it an 8 because it's more exciting, it's more story to it. There's a bunch of legendaries you can catch. That's why I was just like, man, it's wonderful. But you shouldn't have this big old map if I'm barely gonna use the map. Like that's my only issue. We barely really use the map at all, man. When we have an ice area for no reason.
I mean, you do use the map though, like because if you want to complete the Pokédex.
Well, besides of that, I'm talking about like story-wise, right? Like let's say this.
If you want the Regis, you have to go to the ice area as well, because that was where Reggie Ice was. And you have
no, not the top, not the top area. Not when you're going up the mountain. I'm talking about when you're going to the lake, like the ocean. So when you gotta go by, right? The only thing that's there is Kabalion, and you probably already caught Kabalion, so it's like
All right, I got one of the Swords of Justice. Let's leave. All right, I'm gonna head out.
Like it felt different. Like they could have did more with this map. See, like going up the mountain at the very top, there is greatness there, right? You get a cutscene. You got a reason. You can't catch Glacier or basically Calyrex, and you got to go all the way up there. There's a reason. Before there, you catch the Reggie Ice, right? And then like it has meaning. You see almost all the newer Pokemon as well. So it had meaning to go up there, all that great stuff. But we have that ice area just sitting there. Just here you go. I can catch almost all of those Pokemon that were chilling in that ice lake area in the same ice area, lake area that was inside the original map. Like I don't know what route that is, but that same area I can basically catch the same things there, right? Catch the same things. So I'm like
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, you're right. They added a brand new map, and it was pretty big, and they didn't utilize it.
And it's underutilized.
Yep, for the most part.
It's like it's cool, right? It's just cool to see certain new Pokemon chilling it, and I like that part. But every other part of the map had something almost, right? Like the town, everything else had something. Just that area is just like, why even put it there?
I mean, maybe it's just a wild area.
I mean, if we wanted a wild area, we got a wild area already. We already got a wild area. You literally have a wild area, bro.
I mean, that's what both of those DLCs, the whole maps are.
They're literally
pretty much
wild
are.
areas.
Yeah, they're just wild areas.
Yeah, and that's exactly why it has a problem.
So if you look at the normal wild area, you can only go to like certain areas. Well, you go to certain areas in the normal wild area just for a certain Pokemon. Like it still serves the same purpose, but I get what you're saying. It should have been more. They could have added more for like how it looks for that one area.
It's like when you play other games like fighting games or like adventure games, and then they give you this one area that they lock down. You're like, oh man, this has to be something. No, it's a pot that you broke. Like, this is it. This is you hit this area. Like it looks so cool to hide, and then you just go there and there's nothing. A broken pot.
Not the NPCs, man. Not the NPCs.
Nothing there, man.
Separation of the
So you're upset.
I'm here to inform you about the game.
Like you could have just blocked me off with the invisible wall. I would have been fine. Like give me the invisible wall before you give me the option of walking down the emptiness of nothing. Oh yeah, man, you can go this way. Oh. Broken pot. Alright, invisible wall, where were you? Where were you when I need you?
I see your point.
You're there when I don't want you.
I mean, well, aside from that, yeah, I forgot about the tournament. So tournament was, for me, it was great. It was fun, right? Enjoyable. So just like Maestro brought up the tournament back in the original game. Yeah, like they brought out more to the story, and then the only thing I hate is that once you're done with it, you don't get the same amount of money again. Like I think it was like the $1 million that you get for winning. the next time you go through it, you get less.
Yeah, it goes down to 50,000. Yeah, but it caps off at 50,000 because I think they did that because you won a meal and you also won whatever you won within the battles. So I think so then they basically made it so that whatever you win in the battles plus 50,000. But I get what you're saying because with that million, imagine if you had that Meowth, right? You're just, man, bro, and now you're really talking about money, man. You really ain't gotta struggle to get vitamins now, man. But
that was the plan until I went again and I saw the thing and I'm like, wait, what? This isn't even worth it. I gotta go back to Watts.
I think it's 50K. It drops down, I believe, to like 50.
A lot. Yeah, it drops down a lot. Yeah, it's not worth it at that point. And you're only doing it just,
because even though you get more from completing that than the regular tournament, which I still do it here and there if I'm close to the tournament area, so I'll just do it real quick. Because especially if I don't have any watts, it's like, okay, you gotta go do it, right? But that's about it. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So this was a favorite, unlike the Isle of Armor. That's all we gotta say about that one. Anybody want to close it in? Final thoughts?
Like, really, the only bad thing I can say about Crown Tundra is the storyline for the max raids. Because they did this in Gen 6 where all the legendaries were brought into Oros because of a legendary Pokemon known as Hoopa. And this is because when Gen 6 was being made, they were trying to support the multi-universe theory. Where basically, you play Pokemon Diamond, right? Which is where you catch Dialga. But you can't catch Palkia for some inexplicable reason. And in Pokemon Pearl, you can catch Palkia, but not Dialga. Where did the other legendary go? Did he just go on vacation? Oros explains this using Hoopa. Basically, if you didn't buy the third version of whatever Pokemon generation you were playing, so like Platinum where you can get both and Giratina, basically if you played Diamond, Hoopa swooped in when no one was looking and literally just pulled Palkia into another dimension. And the dimension Palkia gets spit out into is Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. I forget which one lets you get Palkia, but basically Hoopa plucked the legendary from that version of the game and put it somewhere else, and then you caught it somewhere else down the line. There's a lore reason for it, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't get that with Crown Tundra. It's like, oh yeah, all these legendaries just showed up at the max dens. Also, we have a Regigigas here. Regigigas is the only one that was explained. Basically, they're golems. I don't think they're necessarily man-made, but there's more than one of all of them. So, the Galar region has 5 Regis plus Regigigas, and the other ones, the other 5, are used as a seal for him. So they've got the 5 regular Regis, and then they just stuff the Regigigas into a Dynamax den. And like a fool, you broke his seal, and you go in there thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get me a free Regigigas. Level 100. Oh, hold on. Can we like not do this? You got 5 turns. Okay. You got 5 turns. You got 5 turns before slow start like wears off. And when slow start is gone, you are out. You are gone after that. So there's a lore reason for Regigigas and the other 5 Regi Pokemon. Hell, there's even an explanation for why Regieleki and Regidrago exist only in Galar but not the other regions. And I like that, but there's no lore explanation for why all these legendaries came from wherever they came from to be in these dens. Like, why did Giratina leave the Distortion world to come chill in a cave in a completely different region? What are you doing here? Oh, well, you know what? Say less. I travel for Pizza Hut.
You're right. Like, that didn't make sense. You're right. The scientist there.
But it's not enough to detract from the enjoyment factor for me. Not at all.
No. Honestly, I didn't really care. Like,
But now that I think about it, is Palkia inside of it at all? Like, I don't remember. Is Palkia in there?
All of them are there.
And then? Oh, wow. I haven't caught Palkia yet. Then.
Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. The only one who's not there is Arceus, and that's because Arceus is basically
Right.
event only. You're not getting Arceus unless they
There you
release
go.
it through Mystery Gift.
Aside from that, hey, most of them are there, and like it just gives you a chance to play with with Pokemon that you wanted to play in the past. And look,
That you otherwise might not have the chance to because you probably didn't play the other games.
and most of them are legal that you can do in VGC,
Yeah, most of them. Yep.
which is great. Yeah. Landorus did not break the game, like so many others were thinking.
Hey, you know, he's still top tier, bro. You kinda sleeping on him. Just
I mean, he's there, but he's not like the top dog.
He's not the only. He's not so over centralizing like he used to be in the old days. There's
Well, you gotta
enough.
remember,
There's
man,
enough
there's so
new
many
stuff
ways
that's
to stop
also super powerful that makes Landorus acceptable. That tasted foul. That tasted foul.
See, and what I like about Landorus is because that flying ability, even though I hate he only gets fly, like, I'm like, you can't get any other flying physical move? Like, really? But, I mean, I guess you use him more of a Dynamax when it comes to using his flying moves, right? But, again, I'm like, what makes it a problem for him is once young legendary God Swag Rillaboom come out, because he's the real legendary. Let's get rid of what you call it. Like I stated this before, man. Tapu Bulu. Let's get rid of Tapu Bulu. Need to be the real Rillaboom, and Rillaboom need to be Tapu Rillaboom. out here. I don't know. They give him the Tapu name.
Tapu Boom.
Some-
Tapu Boom Boom. There you go. You gotta say Tapu Boom Boom.
Tapu Boom Boom. Tapu Boom Boom.
And for those in the audience who might not understand what Maestro is talking about, basically, everyone thought Rillaboom was going to be the temporary replacement for Tapu Bulu, since it's the only other Pokemon in existence that gets Grassy Surge as an ability. And this is the same generation where Grassy Slide exists. Tapu Bulu gets put into the game in Crown Tundra, and he still has Grassy Surge because that's the gimmick of the Tapus, but he doesn't get Grassy Slide, so everyone immediately threw him in the trash and just made Rillaboom their best friend. How can you have Grassy Surge as an ability but not also get Grassy Slide? That didn't make sense to people.
You're the physical hitter. Like, you're a physical hitter legendary, bro. How can you do this to us?
You're a bull, for crying out loud. Don't you charge across the plains for a living? How do you not know Grassy Glide? My guy, what are you doing? Rillaboom, like, Tapu Bulu comes in, he's like, after 10,000 years, I'm free. Time to conquer Galar. And Rillaboom just gives him the, look at me. I am the captain now.
No, I am now Tapu. I am Tapu.
No, hey, no. Rillaboom just goes back there and he's like, hey, buddy, you're sitting in my chair. What?
Hey, man, thanks for warming the bench for me.
Yes.
They start playing the drums right on there and stuff. Like, let me play you a little solo real quick. As he's leaving the door.
Let me play you the Goron's lullaby.
It's so shameful because like Tapu Lele also like so I didn't play Gen 7, so I didn't know who any of these Tapus were, except because the cartoon, the anime, I mean. But yeah, I didn't know any of them. I was excited that they were all fairies, but here's the thing though, none of them get the overpowered moves from Isle of Armor.
Yeah, they don't get the premium move.
So then,
Well, you don't want to give Tapu Fini. I don't think you want to give her the flip.
Yeah, Flip Turn or Misty Explosion, one of the two.
Misty Explosion. I mean, the thing is, I think she's more of a carry, so I don't think we would do that. But I mean, like Tapu Lele, she has her own Psychic Terrain setter, and she doesn't get Expanding Force.
Yep, she does not learn it.
What's his face? Like you just said, Bulu. He has his own Surge setup, but he doesn't learn Grassy Glide. So it's like, why? I don't know.
And then Tapu Koko doesn't get Rising Force?
Voltage?
Rising Voltage, there we go. Tapu Koko doesn't get that either. But I guess it's okay for Tapu Koko because he still gets discharged, so it's like, who cares?
Right.
Zap. But it's weird. But it's weird, right? They don't get the signature.
And he still gets Volt Switch. He gets Volt Switch as well.
I mean, I could see it from their perspective. If they were used as a, it's like if they were to get those new moves though, like trust me, like I'm completely with you guys. But if they were to get those new moves, 9 times out of 10 they may replace those Pokemon that are inside that spot. So you probably won't be using Rillaboom or the one that did Psychic Surge.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's the point though. Like he's trying to say, like that's the point.
It gives you. I mean, I can see it from their point where it's like, all right, you get options, but yeah, you guys are right. He should have access to it.
But that's the point. That's the point.
No, I understand.
Like, why would you bring these legendaries, bro? Oh, here go a point what I'm trying to state, right? Like, let's go to. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but like to make it easier, like how you said, like they wouldn't be using these Pokemon no more. I kind of get it, but let's be honest here. Let's go to a wonderful thing called Urshifu, right? Urshifu took the position of Pangoro, correct? Pangoro is that dark fighting type that just is wonderful and all, but he's just too slow and he doesn't really have good stats. Well, welcome Urshifu, Dark Urshifu. Hello, buddy. You are now the new dark fighting type who's gonna take the spot, have better movesets, and do everything better. And you're gonna hit through Protect. Good job. You have stepped up your game. And to make it worse, you're not even a legendary.
Well, I don't think Pangoro was used to. Yeah, no, I'm just saying like they was using it as an alternative, not taking the spot, but it's just like you have another option to go ahead and use. Because like even then, Pangoro wasn't even that. So Urshifu was in. Yeah, no one used him to kill the Dusclops. We used Urshifu because he automatically crits off of it.
I don't think that's what he. I don't think that's what he meant by take its spot.
And in the case of Indeedee and Tapu Lele, there's an argument for continuing to use female Indeedee because Follow Me, which Tapu Lele doesn't get.
Helping Hand, Follow Me, Fling.
And not only that, but it also means you can run 2 Psychic Surge Pokemon in the same party.
Yeah.
And that's pretty nice. And Tapu Lele allows for a bit of mind games in Team Preview. Because Tapu Lele doesn't have to have Psychic Surge. You could also go Telepathy. And Telepathy is a good ability. Basically, your opponent would see that you have a Tapu Lele and an Indeedee, and they're just going to immediately think, alright, they both have Psychic Surge. He has one in the back, just in case I overwrite his. Alright, I think I know what his strat is. I'm going to go in with these 4. And then Tapu Lele comes in with like a Nidoking that has Sheer Force and Life Orb and it's spamming Sludge Wave. Why isn't Tapu Lele taking damage? Oh yeah, Telepathy, bro. Oh crap. You chose wrong.
Like I wouldn't want them to go ahead and like give those Pokemon those moves, just because then, yeah. And then we'll get back to like how it was in previous gen, where it's like, all right, if you ain't got a Kartana or this because they took this.
Because it would be too over centralizing.
Well, yeah. At least now they gave us so many options when it comes to Pokemon, just because of this DLC. It's like, all right, you can
reasonably use whatever you like, and you could probably find some success with it. That's a wonderful thing that I don't think I've been able to say about Pokemon for a long time. So I'm ultimately okay with these Pokemon not getting the premium signature Isle of Armor move tutor moves. I'm mostly okay with that. Just not in the case of Tapu Bulu, because Tapu Bulu absolutely should have gotten Grassy Slide. That's kind of inexcusable. It's a bull and it's a grass type. How do you not graze on the grass?
Thank you, bro. He's a freaking physical hitter, bro. He's a physical hitter, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like this is uncalled for at least Tapu Bulu. Like at least everybody else can fit into something else, right? At least Tapu Lele still wonderfully defensively ready to take hits and stuff like that. You know, that's
you had one job and it got stolen from you by some dude with a drum set.
Bro, like really?
Yeah, so they can be used diversely. This thing is like, look, you only
completely, bro. Like this is what we're saying. Like it's like how you said, bro. Like, we gave this person this move, then you will be forced to basically have to use this. Well, guess what? You don't even use him, so you basically be forced to use Rillaboom anyway. Like, you're not gonna use him at all, man. Like, it's a waste of time. I haven't seen it.
So no, you can't go ahead and actually use them. You're just not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean people haven't used them. I'm saying that you can use them just for this. For if you're gonna use just for the terrain setter, just to remove the terrain, or if you like Teron gave a perfect example earlier. If you're gonna use 2 of them, you use Rillaboom in that. It's just so you can go ahead and always keep your terrain. There's an option for that. You can still use them as attackers as well, but since they don't get those moves, let alone some of them don't get like some of the moves that the Pokemon that's quote unquote doing a better job than them get. They're not gonna override it. So like Indeedee, you're not gonna go ahead and swap out Tapu Fini with Indeedee because Indeedee
like
is
that.
normal
Like
ghost,
that thing is a
can't get hit
support
by
nanny. You can't like
can't get hit by,
there is no replacing
normal psychic
Indeedee.
can't get hit by ghost. It gets follow me, helping
But
hand.
Tapu Lele can be a supplement for it.
Yeah, I'm not switching those out. But you go ahead and use Lele. Exactly. Like I'm like I understand where you guys are coming from with it, and I love that they made that option. And I do see that it's a freaking bull. He is literally in grass. He cha-cha slides in grass all the time. So yeah. The old blue pill. Exactly. He's better what Rillaboom does though.
Man, look at exactly, yo. Just Tapu Koko and Tapu Fini, bro. They are the Tapu Kings, bro. Tapu King and Queen. You stay on this side. The other Tapos, I am dethroning your Tapu throne, and we're gonna give it to Tapu Boom Boom, and we're gonna have what's the other one?
Tapu Didi. Tapu Boom Boom. Tapu Didi.
Tapu Didi, bro. Tapu Didi and Tapu Boom Boom, bro. Didi, let's go. Like we can call those other Pokemon. We just gotta call them.
Because actually, when you think about it,
we don't.
do you guys even use Pincurchin?
Sorry, guys.
Oh boy, and Tapu Fini.
Lele.
Tapu
Sorry.
Fini isn't even competing with anyone for like the Misty Surge spot because nobody uses Misty Surge in the first place. But Tapu
that's all I'm asking
Fini
for.
is
Get rid of the
just,
Tapu
it was
Finis.
good back in Gen 7, but now the thing is a deity. I don't die. I have good typing, and I can actually slay fools. I do it all. Other than its stats.
No man, the Misty Surge is good.
Okay, I can't be hit with status ailments, and my defenses are both above 110. Come at me.
And top it off, because of that, you can't bring a dragon type out there so willy-nilly no more, man. You gotta watch out when you see that Tapu Fini. You can be like, damn, man.
Yeah, because if you try to bring a dragon type up against a Tapu Fini, it's just gonna say, "Hi, welcome to the moon." Boom, you're gone.
So remember when you were trying to do that dragon move you were doing? Switch it on out.
Not anymore. 50% weaker, so my buddy is okay. And then it gets brine. Oh, what's that? You're looking like you're below 50% HP. Double the damage. Stab.
God forbid that thing Dynamax is gonna take a 2-hit from a physical move.
Bro, this thing is so nasty because even if you put it, it don't matter what you put it in, bro. Like it has the fairy spread move that's just hitting you, a stab as well, and then you got muddy water just out there deteriorating your team, the other team, bro. Like you're going both ways, man. It's just so scary, bro. It's so scary of a Pokemon, bro.
30% chance to lower accuracy, and believe you me, that 30% feels like 60.
You're just praying. You're praying at this point. You're praying that Rillaboom is out there able to take over. You know, I'm sorry. I was disrespectful. Tapu Boom Boom was out there to be able to do his job. If Tapu Boom Boom can do his job, you have to pray for it. Even though this is a god tier as well, you know, Tapu Boom Boom is god tier. He's not stats related wise as strong as this thing is in the hitting apartment, but God.
Oh, I don't have it. I don't have Aerial Ace. I'm screwed.
Who pulls out the butt, bro? Oh my god.
And then this thing can be support too. Like this thing learns taunt, light screen, icy wind. Like, oh my god, like this thing is, it could be either or. Like what heal pulse?
You said what? Dynamaxed weakness policy? No. How are you weakness policy or support this? You're supposed to be support this time. Oh, don't worry, man. I'm not no weakness policy this time. Don't worry about it.
Like when this DLC came out, that thing was already kind of messed up.
This man, wonderful calm mind, and his weakness policy. Wonderful calm mind.
I tell him like, all right, you have this item. We're not gonna touch you.
It's the best of the top pools, man. The best of the top pools.
Man, like this thing just gets such a good move pool, man. Well, not even good move pool. It's just, it's way too good. Yeah, especially in the meta that we have right now. You got what is it? Spore. You have the T-Wave, which we don't see anymore. Will-O-Wisp, things like that, right? Like we see that now in the meta. And all you gotta do is just switch out. Boom, safe.
Also stored power, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, T-Wave is probably not used as much because you still have the risk of being hit, unlike putting somebody to sleep or freezing and stuff like that. Burning, clearly.
That's how you still got Nuzzle. People use that with Raichu.
Well, I mean, Nuzzle, but you still have that chance of getting hit, right? Like, yeah, you cut the speed, but like the hit is what gets you. You're like, okay, what's gonna stop my opponent from hitting me? Now, I guess sometimes you want to cut down the speed, but then you're like, let's just say we need to make sure that you just don't hit me in general. Alright, put you to sleep. You skip you being fast. You're not gonna hit me because you're knocked out, sleep, or you're frozen or something.
And that's what makes Finny so OP. You just throw it out there and, oh, look at that. You ain't get none of those.
Well, you tried to put me to sleep as well? No.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, that's the other thing, man. This thing has ice beam. Like, oh.
It said this is a wonderful ice beam.
How about you speed your way to this bedside?
Oh, how was your day? He's like, I was just coming to put you to sleep as I heard you. No. You forgot that I am a god. I am a god. You must have thought you was talking with Mr. Bulu over there.
This thing, and then one other thing is, even though it's weak to grass, it does learn grass now. That's so insane, man. This thing has normal, ghost, ice, water, fairy, psychic, dark, grass, steel. It just doesn't learn poison, and
it's a fairy type that learns a steel move. I mean, it would never use it because if it's not a physical attacker, but I mean, you could. It's there. Yeah, like Max Steel Spike to raise everyone's defense, make this thing even harder to kill.
It's there.
Just sitting there, just relaxing, man. Like this is man. This darn Pokemon right here. You want to talk about the scariest Pokemon, man? Yeah, you want to talk about some Urshifu that's wonderful. It's a wonderful in its mind, but look here, man. It has a problem. You don't put weakness policy on this thing unless you know that you're gonna hit. Hopefully, now you can't put weakness policy because you don't get no focus sash and no other chance no more unless you max out the special defense like I've done before.
You basically have to play it perfectly if you put a weakness policy on Urshifu. You put a weakness policy on Tapu Fini, you could be half asleep and you're still probably gonna win it.
And it shouldn't. It should actually still be at the top. I understand why it's at the top for the moment. Urshifu is, and believe me, I am happy that a fighting type is up there, which deserves its props. It finally needs to be put in the A category, but
like when this DLC came out on Pikalytics, Tapu Fini was #1 for the longest, and it's just now getting swapped by Urshifu. Like it was just stupid what it can do.
Hey man, I'm sorry for how much I love Urshifu, bro. You gotta understand. Urshifu has to be two different. Like you have to have two different types. This thing is one being. You know what I'm saying? It's one being going against two different types of Urshifus. He just like, it take two of y'all to even compare to me. You know, like, I'm one being. I'm a god. I'm a god. Bulu, you look trash.
I mean, it's right underneath it. It's like Tapu Fini has 35%, Urshifu has 38%. That's just taking out the remaining decimal points. And it's just because of what Urshifu can do. It can.
But okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So as far as we can tell, Isle of Armor, there was some positives, but mainly negatives. Crown of Tundra, it was more positives than negatives. It looks like we enjoyed it more than everything else. So predictions, take it away, Taran. On what might be the next game, what could they be working on, things like that.
Oh, what's next for this? What's next for the series? So, Pokemon has a bit of a pattern that it likes to follow. Ever since the release of Ruby and Sapphire, we've been getting remakes. So right after Ruby and Sapphire, we got Fire Red and Leaf Green. It was received exceptionally well. Then they released Emerald. Came out with Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl were kind of bad to play. Like, they felt bad to play because their decks was so limited. Then Platinum happened and fixed that whole thing. So after they squared away Diamond and Pearl, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, favorite games in the series, but that's beside the point. They remade Gen 2. Next comes Gen 5. We don't get a remake in this generation because they decided to do something brand new with the series. They made direct sequels. So you got Black 2 and White 2. Now we go to Gen 6, where we get X and Y. And since we tested the waters with the 3DS and found it, like, acceptable, boom! Time for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Remakes of Gen 3. Moving on to Gen 7, we got Pokemon Sun and Moon. Story-wise, everyone loves Sun and Moon, even though it's, like, really hand-holdy and cutscene heavy that you can't skip. People didn't like that part. Then they do this weird thing where, because they're still trying to support the multi-universe theory, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon happen, and it's literally Sun and Moon again, but with some alterations to how the timeline works. So you face different kahunas, which are basically that game's version of gym leaders, and the story events are different. You also get to go through Ultra Space and basically play out alternate conclusions of various timelines. There's one timeline where Giovanni gets away with the Master Ball in Red, Blue, and Yellow. He catches Mewtwo and somehow gets this thing to Mega Evolve into Mega Mewtwo X. And you have to fight him with this Mega Mewtwo X, and he plays no games. There is a timeline where Giovanni just straight up wins. And they let you explore that. I didn't really like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but that whole thing with Rainbow Rocket and all the other alternate timelines, that was cool. And then they did something different again for Gen 7. They released Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. They remade Gen 1 again. And the reason they did it is in the name. Let's Go. They wanted to incorporate the insane success of the mobile game, Pokemon Go. They wanted to bring all the people who had never played a Pokemon game before, but started with Pokemon Go, and bring them on board for mainline Pokemon. So they did that. They did that and one other thing with Let's Go. They basically tested the waters for a build of a mainline Pokemon game on a home console instead of a handheld. And now that the green lit is on, because Let's Go was received well enough, boom, now we get Gen 8 Pokemon Sword and Shield on the Switch. Sword and Shield has not been received nearly as well as Let's Go, and that's really mostly in part because of its development cycle. But because the potential is there, especially with Let's Go being as good as it was for most people, there are two directions they could go for what's next in Gen 8. They can either give us the Sinnoh remakes to apologize for what happened with Sword and Shield, or they can hold off and remake Gen 2 by giving us Let's Go whatever that version of Johto would be. I don't think there's going to be a Let's Go Johto just yet, because Let's Go Johto, well, the Johto region doesn't have a Pikachu and Eevee equivalent. And for those of you in the audience who are wondering, well, why is Pikachu and Eevee so special? It's because Let's Go is more or less based on Pokemon Yellow, where your starter Pokemon is forced to be Pikachu, and your rival gets Eevee. A lot of people, and a lot of people today even, wanted the chance to use Eevee as their starter Pokemon, because it's such a good pick. You basically get a choice between Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. And in the current gen, you could do those three, plus all of the other evolutions that existed. And that's a pretty interesting prospect. You get a normal type Pokemon as your starter, and you get to choose what it evolves into. So they're basically going back and fulfilling an unspoken promise from whenever Pokemon Yellow was a thing. I'm not going back to check the date. But Johto, that doesn't have a Pikachu and Eevee equivalent. And if it does, I'd love to hear what any of you in the audience have to speculate about that. But with nothing concrete regarding Let's Go Johto, I am squarely in the camp of believing the Sinnoh remakes are coming. I believe those are next.
I mean, that's a very interesting theory. Because, I mean, you're right. Like I said, I never paid attention to any of, like, the storylines or anything like that in the past, like how they do it. Do they have a counterpart, like, for in Johto where, Pokemon to follow you? No. Because you got to choose, right? It was just like any other game that is out there, where you get to choose what you want. I would like to see a Johto remake. I think Tarang can agree that Silver and Gold will always be the top favorites. I don't know which one your favorites are, J-Man and Maestro, but I never played Hard Gold or Soul Silver, but Silver so far will always be my number one.
Dang, that should have been my Christmas gift to you. A copy of one of those two games. Okay, it's too late to get it for Christmas, but I might just do that. Lugia or Ho-Oh, pick one.
Oh, Lugia, all the Silver. It's Soul Silver.
I got you.
Maestro, I don't know which one your favorite is, and then J-Man, I don't know which one your favorite is.
I don't know if I have a real tough favorite gen. I really don't know I have a favorite, because I just like playing the games and see where it goes, right? I'm more of that type. Like, I'm not the type to be like, I can say there are certain things, like maybe Black and White got me re-excited to get back into Pokemon after I played Red, Yellow. After that, I stopped playing for a while again, but then I got back into Black and White, and then I went back to play the other ones, so... maybe whatever the Black and White gen that is, I think that's Gen 5, and because the music and everything, yeah. Because like even what they did, man, like how in Red you see Red right at the very end and all that great stuff, but let's be honest here, man. They had so many ways to make the game so exciting, and then here you go. Like again, ever since we saw Cynthia again pop up, I was scared because I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. I'm excited and thrilled. I'm thrilled. I actually wanted to fight her, but I forgot the wonderful thing of, she's going to start off basically at level 70, 80, while you're sitting there just won the Pokemon League with like level 50, probably like 55 Pokemon, not you?
For me, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Johto will always be my home. That will always be my favorite game series, well, my favorite entry in the series. But if I had to rate it like objectively, I honestly believe Gen 5, Black, White, Black 2, White 2, I honestly believe those are the best games in the series right now. I still hold those as the pinnacle to this day. We thank you this evening, or morning, depending on where you are, for joining us for the Technical Record Podcast. Join us again next week for a brand new Pokemon of the Week and Technical Record 01, Body Slam. If you enjoyed this podcast, we would sincerely appreciate it if you body slam that like button and pop the swords dance around that subscribe button. And of course, ring the bell for future notifications of Technical Record. Thank you and have a good day.